A couple of weeks ago, I made this thing. This is my penalty shootout machine, and it works using chickens. It essentially drops down a chicken from the sky, you then shoot it out the air using an arrow, firing it towards the goal, and the redstone mechanism will try and save it. It's a lot of fun to play, and ever since building it, I've wanted to build a few more mini-games. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The first thing that I want to create is a game that I like to call, Is That a Shulker, or Is That a Shulker Box? I'm sure you can all understand what's going to be happening here. So, here goes. If we hit this button, we have to try and work out if that is in fact a shulker or if it is a shulker box. Now, I'm placing bets on shulker box. Okay, I was correct. Alright, let's try again. Shulker. Yes! I don't know how I knew that, but clearly I'm good at this game. Now, the cool thing about this is that we can actually automate the wind detection with redstone. So say, for example, you get a shulker box, it's got items on the inside. As you can see, when this dispenser actually dispenses it, this comparator can detect whether or not there is actually items on the inside there. So we can get a redstone output when it's a shulker box, and we won't get a redstone output when it's just a regular shulker. So when the player chooses either shulker or shulker box, we'll be able to detect if they've won or they've lost. My brain is struggling so much with the logic here though. So you think this is a shulker, that means that there'd have to be no redstone output here, and the player would have to give a redstone output. And that means that they've got it wrong, which means that the redstone output from here has to be connected into some form of trap, maybe something that will hurt the player. But if there isn't a redstone output here, then it would have to block off that redstone output so that the player didn't get injured because they've got it correct. Despite that word sandwich, I have managed to work something out. So now we have a fully functioning logic system. Let's just see if it works. So if we hit this button right here, we have created our thing. You think this is a shulker box? You think this is a shulker? I think it's a shulker. Okay, that functioned, and then if we do this, oh, it was a shulker box. Which is exactly the outcome that I should have expected because I picked shulker, I got it wrong, so obviously it's a shulker box. Yeah, my brain stopped working a little bit there. Thankfully though, I've managed to reboot it and get it back into action, and now I've got myself an automatic killing system for the shulkers. I've also got myself an automatic redispensing system, so the game will reset once it's been played. And I've put some glass in place so that you can't see the hitbox of the shulker box if it's a shulker box, because you don't get a hitbox when it's a shulker, as you can see right here. So that means that that is a shulker. So if we hit this button, you can see that the shulker will be gradually suffocated by this block, and it does take quite a long time because, yeah, these shulkers are quite strong. And then eventually, very eventually, it turns out, this redstone depowers, and then we get a new thing dispensed. By the look of things, this one's another shulker. Cool, okay, I'd say this game is done. Let's move on to the next silly one. And that, my friends, is underwater basketball. Yep, that's right. I'm going to make an underwater basketball course because, as you guys know, it's not a course, is it? In England, we don't really play basketball, so it wouldn't be a pitch. You don't play. What do you play it on? After some frantic Googling, it's a court. I was very close with course. As I say, yeah, it's not really a commonly played thing in England. So I'm going to create an underwater basketball court because, as you know, entities in Minecraft 1.13 float upwards. So the idea is that you throw your entity and it will kind of float up on a strange trajectory, and you need to get it into a hopper that is going to be somewhere around about here. So you've got to be accurate because obviously you can't have it hitting the side, you can't have it going off to one side there, you don't want it to go too high because then it won't end up in the hopper, so you have to kind of throw it to perfection. It's going to be really difficult and I have no clue how well it's going to work. Okay, so this is part one completed. This is kind of the outskirts. Now if we grab ourselves a door, we can place that on the front. And we're not going to make it an iron door because we want to be able to actually walk through this thing. Can you waterlog doors? I'm assuming you can waterlog a door. You actually can't. That's surprising to me. Anyway, to fill this thing up, we're going to need water sources all the way around. So I guess if we do that, that'll do it. Apart from, of course, the door. Now, the first question that I have is this actually going to be possible? So if I throw straight upwards... Okay, it goes straight up like that. Okay. Now, if I throw down like this, then it goes down there and up. So I kind of need to This is going to be amazing. I feel like we need to go slightly higher with the water so that you can't get shots like that. Because what I want to do is I want to make it so that it has to go in kind of on the first shot like that. So that's kind of what I want to do. Oh, it's just so silly. How do I come up with such silly things? Like, I make 3 redstone videos a week and I still come out with silly new things. But I'm not quite finished with this one just yet. It was a little bit easy at the start, so I've decided to make things a tiny bit more difficult by adding in this redstone mechanism. Now, I kind of have a technique. Oh, that was very close. So kind of throw it just as they're doing that, because you don't want things like that happening. I mean, that has actually gone out the park. So you kind of have to time it. It's so difficult. That was it. We scored. Okay, so I've scored a couple over my time of doing this. But as you can see, it's definitely a challenge. Much more challenging than it was beforehand. Because you have the added... you really have to try and work at it. And you have to try and time it perfectly. It's so close. Oh no, I'm just getting no luck here. It's just impossible. For the next minigame, I want to create a cart dodging system. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie out an area of planks here, and each one of these planks is going to have minecart rails on top of it. And then we're going to just run minecarts across. And what the player has to do is make sure that they dodge all of the minecarts, and if they don't, then they lose the game. You know what? I'd actually say this looks pretty cool. Like, as far as builds go, it kind of almost looks like a pirate ship. I mean, I don't know how that relates at all to minecart dodging, but you know, I kind of like it. Anyway, as far as the redstone logic is concerned, the randomizer that we're going to be using is bats. We're going to be using bats. I like to use bats as much as possible inside redstone contraptions because, I mean, as we all know, they're totally useless in the grand scheme of things, and I like adding uses to useless things. Now, this isn't really the way that I was originally planning on doing it, but I would be interested to see how it works. So originally I was just going to run the bat output into some pistons, which would push up blocks, and then would have a redstone clock which runs into those blocks, and then periodically minecarts would be shot out. So we'd kind of get them coming in at a proper period, whereas now, if we do this, have Mojang gotten rid of the one use for bats? Or am I going insane? They have! They've actually gotten rid of the one use that bats had. The one useful thing that I found with bats. I'm not going crazy here. I'm trying to check if my redstone's wrong, but it's not. They're not activating the pressure plates anymore. What the heck, Mojang? What the heck? You know, that has put such a sour taste in my mouth that I don't even really want to finish this redstone contraption. I mean, seriously. Like, there was one... I finally found a use for bats. The most useless thing in Minecraft other than looking pretty, and they go and remove it. It's almost as if it was like a personal thing. Because that is a weird thing for them to remove. I feel like Mojang have made a personal slight. And they've done it on purpose. Oh, I'm so upset. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, yeah, I take that back. I didn't mean anything that I said. I'm going to keep working on the redstone contraption now. And you know what? This sort of works. I've got 2 bats in the system. And as you can see, that was kind of cheesy. But it keeps you definitely on your toes. The only issue is that you're going to need tons of minecarts, because as you can see, I've already run out. That is ridiculous. Anyway, despite the massive quantities of iron required to build this thing, it is actually working quite nicely. So what we've got down at the bottom here is some repeater systems, and this is the wind detection system. So these repeaters match up with the timings of the minecarts running across the top. So if you actually walk into one of these minecarts and stop it from reaching its detector rail, then the redstone will travel through, it will travel through these blocks, and it will activate a redstone line, which we're going to have out the back here, which is going to run into some form of, I don't really know what actually. A bat killer. is hooked up to a bat killer. So if we die in the game, then this bat dies. And as we know, now that we know that bats are still incredibly useful, that would be an awful thing, because you wouldn't want something so useful to die in Minecraft. So let's activate the redstone contraption. And I almost died straight away. Okay, let's drop into this. There we go. That was a good first dodge. All right, this is going well. Oh, okay. It's kind of nerve-wracking. That was never going to end well for me or the bat. Oh dear. Oh, you know, I kind of feel a little bit bad now. And on that terribly sad and depressing note, I think it's time to end. I hope that you enjoyed all of these silly Minecraft minigames. They're a lot of fun to create. Let me know down in the comment section your ideas for more. But anyway, if you did enjoy, please sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.